Good morning, everyone. So I'm Les Engel. I want to extend everybody a warm welcome from AMFA, which is the Arrowhead function, CMMA, and also Tri-State. And hopefully to make everybody understand, those three organizations are part of MMA, or the Midwest Manufacturing Association. So we really appreciate taking your time in your schedule to join us today. Our goal is really to provide some good content that really helps the manufacturers and to provide you hopefully some solutions to your manufacturing problems. And so this is a continuation. Today we welcome you to session 8 of our marketing series, featuring a discussion on developing a digital marketing strategy. So I'd like to introduce our speaker today, who's Kelly Kane. And Kelly is the Director of Marketing and co-founder of Gaslight Creative. Kelly combines marketing and creative strategy to advise a wide range of clients while mentoring her employees. She holds a master's degree in public relations and has 30 years of marketing and management experience. So Gaslight Creative is Minnesota's leading branding and website agency. The multidisciplinary Gaslight team is known for its out-of-the-box solutions, award-winning creativity, and down-to-earth approach. So in 2020, Gaslight Creative expanded its reach with a Bozeman, Montana office. And the current clients include manufacturers, professional services, nonprofits, organizations, construction, and healthcare. So with that, I'd like to welcome Kelly, and she can give you all the helpful hints.
Well, good morning, everyone. Today we're going to talk about digital marketing, specifically how to develop a digital marketing strategy. I'm thinking the presentation will go about 30 to 40 minutes, and then we'll have plenty of time for question and answers. And again, like Amy said, we'll do that via the chat. So please feel free to ask questions, because this is a large subject with a lot of jargon. And I wanted to talk about jargon just for a second. There's nothing that I dislike more than going to a presentation and hearing a bunch of jargon and I feel kind of silly or stupid because I don't understand that. I promise I will not do that to you today, mainly because I don't know what all the jargon means either. But I'm just going to give it to you straight and hopefully in a way that's a good basis for you to continue on and do your own research. Okay. So in this presentation, we're going to answer these questions. We're going to talk about what, why, and how. We're going to talk about what is a digital marketing strategy? Why does my business need a digital marketing strategy? What tactics are used in digital marketing? And how do I create a digital marketing strategy for my business? So first off, what is a digital marketing strategy? We're going to break this down. A digital marketing strategy describes a series of actions that use online marketing channels to achieve various goals. Seems easy enough, right? But let's break it down. So first and foremost, a digital marketing strategy is a strategy, and a strategy is a plan of action. Or like what I like to call it is, it's the talk. A digital marketing strategy describes a series of actions. And the series of actions is the actual things that you are doing, that actual things that are taking place, or the walk. Okay. This can also be referred as the plan or the campaign. So strategy is not the campaign. The strategy is the whole plan, and the series of action is the action. And then let's talk about online marketing channels. It seems like they keep growing on us, right? But online marketing channels can be divided into 3 areas: owned media, paid media, and earned media. Okay, so owned media is things that you or your company owns, like your website, your own social media channels, a blog, email marketing, and then your Google My Business listing. Paid media are things, as in the name suggests, that you would pay for. So pay-per-click advertising, display ads, retargeting, paid influencers, paid content promotion, or paid social media ads. And then earned media is what is just good old fashioned, what we used to call public relations, right? It's when the St. Cloud Times maybe would write a story about you, or another company would share your posts, mention your company, repost something. And then reputation management under reviews is also considered earned media. Okay, so those are a lot of things, but that is pretty much covers online marketing channels. Okay, a digital marketing strategy describes a series of actions that use the online marketing channels we just spoke about to achieve various goals. So what kind of goals can you achieve through digital marketing? So it's good to think about the 5 S's. This is a little bit of a cheat sheet, okay? You can try to achieve all 5 of these S's, or maybe you want to focus on 1 or 2. The first one is obvious, right? Everybody would like to sell online. Even if you're not selling online, you want to grow your sales via your online marketing. But when you think about selling, start with your most important transactions that lead to revenue and profit. Another goal that you can achieve through online marketing is to speak to your customers. Get closer to them through dialogue and participation. By doing that, you can add value and educate, so you can serve your customers. And then save is on here, and it says save costs, and we'll talk about this more later, but that's because digital marketing tends to be a little bit less expensive than traditional marketing. It can be very cost effective. And then sizzle. The sizzle is extending your brand online. So why does my business need a digital marketing strategy? So I have a couple questions for you. We're going to talk about this. So during the shutdown, think about these questions. How did you find out if your favorite store was open? How did you view menus and order food for takeout or delivery? How did you shop for Christmas gifts? How did you communicate with your customers? How did you conduct sales while you were working from home? And if your annual trade show was canceled, how did you reach your prospects? So companies with a strong online presence survived during this pandemic, while those who did not scrambled to catch up. I think we've all experienced that, maybe a little bit with our own companies, but obviously with the companies that we do business with. Some of us were just better at this than others, but I think one good thing about the pandemic is that now we're all talking about digital marketing. Another question for you, true or false? Only companies who sell products or services online should market online. Well, of course, that is false, because 81% of Americans say they are online every day. 28% say they are almost constantly online, and 45% say they are online several times a day. Now, this research was from 2019. I'm sure these numbers have gone way up during this pandemic. True or false? Only young people are online. That's false. As of 2019, 70% of US seniors said that they are online. True or false? I'm not online much, so I don't think my customers are online either. Well, that's false. First of all, you're not your customer. And it's important to understand your customers' behaviors and research where they spend their time online. So this really goes back to Marketing 101. Know who your customers are, find out where they are, and be there. And for most of us, our customers are online because, like we talked about earlier, everyone is online. So if everyone's online, how does digital marketing actually work? So digital marketing generates website traffic, creates awareness, and transforms leads into loyal customers for your business. It uses data to target your audience through demographics, location, interests, and behaviors. Okay. The advantages of digital marketing is, like I mentioned before, it tends to be lower in cost than traditional media. And there's many metrics available to measure the success of your campaign. Unlike mass media, it might be hard to know if someone saw your ad here or there, but with digital marketing, we actually can show you the results with monthly reports. The other great thing about digital marketing is we can target your audience specifically, and we can deliver a message to those seeking information about your product or service. So why are we still not utilizing digital marketing effectively? Well, honestly, a lot of us are overwhelmed by the technology, or we're confused about the abundance of tactics and jargon, like I mentioned before. We're unsure if it's going to be effective. Maybe we don't have enough resources, not enough time or money. Or, some of us maybe just are stuck in our old ways and we've always done it a certain way. And we're kind of scared to change. So let's just talk about this. Have any of you heard this? Maybe come out of your own mouth or for someone you know. My father built this company on a handshake, and the internet will never replace that. I have a sales team, and it's their job to find and call my customers. Or my customers aren't online. They like to come into my store and browse. Well, it's true, digital marketing will not replace in-person meetings, your brick and mortar store, your sales team, or all of your marketing efforts. But digital marketing will introduce your brand to potential customers for a fraction of the cost of traditional media. It will allow your customers to browse before they shop in person. It'll warm up those otherwise cold sales calls, and it'll help you tell your stories in many different ways. So even if you are not selling your products online, you must consider digital marketing as a plausible, scalable engine of growth for your company. So read that again. Even if you're not selling online, you must consider how you can market your product or service online. Okay, here comes some of the jargon, and I'm going to apologize ahead of time. But what tactics are used in digital marketing? So there's many different names for tactics. Some people call it media, some people call it strategies, but that's not correct, as we talked about earlier. Some people call it types or methodologies. Try not to get hung up on that, but there's different tactics. And this is a jargon. You've heard this: SEO, SEM, PPP, CPC, SMM, KPI. But just forget about all of that stuff. The great thing about digital marketing is you don't really have to understand how it works to use it, okay? We'll leave that for the software engineers and all those people in Silicon Valley. What you need to understand is what you can do to market your business. So first and foremost, let's talk about content marketing. And that is what we do with our own media channels. This is where we should always start, right? Number one on that list is your website. Make sure your website is up to par, has accurate content, makes it easy for people to find you, and that it accurately depicts your brand and your company, okay? If your website's not up to par, forget everything else. You need to start there. Other ways that we can communicate with our customers through content marketing is on your social media channels. And I want to talk about this for a minute. A lot of B2B companies think that their customers are not on social media. And that's just not true. And while you might not want to be on Facebook or Snapchat or TikTok, there are social media channels where your customers are. Maybe they're more on LinkedIn. Maybe you have a construction type of a business and they're on Houzz or Pinterest. There's a lot of research out there on social media channels, and you don't have to do them all. I recommend people do one and do it well before they add others. A blog, usually a blog is on your website. It can be a daunting task to have to publish a blog once a month, but it's a great way to put more content on your website and to communicate with your customers. Email marketing. We might not think of email marketing as online marketing, but it is digital marketing, and it does communicate, obviously, to your customers or your prospects in a digital way. And then Google My Business. And I'm not sure if everybody knows what this is. This is a very confusing one. It's your listing on Google. It's, when you're looking for a business and that map comes up on the side with your hours. A lot of us realized that our Google My Business listings were outdated during the pandemic. Our hours were wrong. People were looking up, when they could go to stores, and we were realizing some of that was wrong. Not everybody knows where or how to change that. But if you go to your Google My Business page, you'll be able to find that. It's very important for SEO, which is search engine optimization, which we'll talk about next. So search engine optimization, I put this under own media because it is how your website is being found on Google. And then the Google My Business is an important part of that. So SEO is a tough thing to do on your own. You might want to engage with a professional for this, but it is, I would say, number 2 in my list of what we should be doing for our owned media channels. Okay, so once we have all those things in place, we can start thinking about paid ads, okay? Paid ads can be text, they can be display ads, kind of like a print ad would look, or we're seeing a lot of video. And according to the internet, video is king. So we're going to see more and more of that. So where do we put these paid ads? We put them on paid media channels. The most common is pay per click, and those are those Google ads that you'll see. The other search engines have it also, so we call it, the general name is pay per click or search ads. These are text ads that when someone is searching for a product or service that you offer, you can pay for a better ranking in Google. Those are very popular. Also, there's display ads that are more designed, not just text. They might have photos or artwork in it. And those are kind of, those are those image ads that you might see, like, let's say, on the online newspaper that you go through, or even national websites like CNN or something like that. You'll see display ads. Connected TV. Some channels on, like, your Netflix, your streaming channels will have ads. You've seen that. So we can actually, instead of cable TV, well, we can still do that, but instead of cable TV, it's called connected TV. So these are really powerful ads. You can pay to be on these streaming channels. Retargeting is when someone visits your website and then they leave. We can follow them around with an ad for 30 days. You guys might have seen that. Those are those annoying ads when you go on Amazon, you're looking for a product, and then you keep seeing that product, little ads all over. That's called retargeting, can be very effective. Paid influencers is the equivalent of having a celebrity endorse your product, right? And so some of these YouTube stars and people like that that have a following online, you can pay to have them promote your product. It's also paid content promotion, and then you can do paid social media advertising. Okay, now in earned media, a very important part of digital marketing is reputation management, okay? If any of you have received a not so great review, you know how important this is. Yet many of us aren't asking our customers to do reviews on Google for us. It's a great thing to do. It helps people find your website. It helps customers trust your company. And it's very, very valuable. So that's on the list here of reputation management. Other things are mentions by other companies, people sharing your content or reposting your content. Okay, so we talked about the what and the why. And so now we're going to talk about the how. How do you develop a digital marketing strategy? So we put together this list of 6 steps to help you develop a marketing strategy. Okay, the first step will be to create buyer personas. Second, set your goals. Audit your current online strategies. Establish a budget. Build your plan and implement your plan. Okay. So personas represent the people interested in your business. Okay. If you haven't done this before, this is very interesting and valuable to do for your overall marketing, not just digital marketing. So what you do is you create these personas and you shape your strategy and determine which channels you should use to reach these people. So what you're doing is you're making like a profile of your current customers or some of your best customers. You're going to, where do they live? How old are they typically? Maybe you know their income or the type of jobs they have. What are their goals or their interests, hobbies, or challenges? And this can seem daunting also, but if you think about it and you look at your current customer list, you'll be able to probably come up with 2, 3, 4, maybe 5 different types of customers and establish personas for them. That helps you target or figure out who you're targeting, and you can speak to those personas. Number 2, set your goals. So those 5 S's we talked about earlier, you can use those as a starting point to establish short, midterm, and long-term goals. And we want to make sure that our goals are SMART, right? They're specific, measurable, achievable, realistic, and timely. So what are some of the goals that you could set? You could set a goal that you want to sell X number of widgets by the end of the year. You want to increase your followers on social media by this amount. You want to publish, 6 blogs this year, things like that. Those are the types of goals. 3, first look at what you've already done. We need to audit our current online strategies. Maybe you're doing a lot of these things already. So look at your own paid and earned media. What are you doing? How successful has it been? And what could you improve upon? And then establish your budget. So we love digital marketing because it's typically less expensive than traditional marketing. But remember, time is money. So if you're going to have an employee or several employees dedicate time to this, remember that that is part of your budget, the employee wages. There's also some costs would be paid media costs. Maybe you need to hire a vendor, such as an agency, a photographer, a videographer. And there's also many software subscriptions that can help you manage some of these marketing tasks. Those are all would be considered part of your budget. And then you need to build your plan. You need to be realistic. You need to create a calendar and to keep your vendors or your employees accountable to that calendar. And be clear who in your organization is performing these tasks. This happens often, right? We're all going to do it when we have extra time, but it needs to be a priority and it needs to be clear who's going to be performing them. And then we need to keep each other accountable in, implementing this plan. So as I spoke about before, I really think that we have to get our own house in order and look at our owned media first. Website, social media, blog, email marketing. And if that's all we do for digital marketing, that's okay. We don't have to do the paid or some of the other things. It's just because you are doing digital marketing if you have a website. You might not think you are, but you are. So make it the best that you can be. And consistency is really the key to success. You don't want to write one blog or send out one email and then call it good and you're just too busy to do it. You want to keep doing it and keep doing it. And with digital marketing, you'll be able to measure the results like we talked about. And by looking at the results, you'll see what works and what doesn't, and you'll adapt as needed. And then I just added this in here, keep swimming, because it can seem like you're not getting anywhere, but it is very important and you will still start seeing success if you keep going with your digital marketing. Other things to implement the plan is make sure you do your research. and you can utilize marketing software tools to make it easier. And, you're not going to be able to probably do it all by yourself. So, hiring a professional is okay. All right. Ready for questions and answers?
All right, wonderful. Well, thank you very much, Kelly. And as usual for our format, I will relay questions from the chat feature. So feel free to enter your questions there and I will relay those for you. So I do have one here to get us started. Do I need a digital strategy if my company has a sales team?
Yes. So that goes back to, we think that, well, the sales team should just be able to cold call and, get the sales. We don't need this other kind of sales funnel. And the answer is yes, you do. So as any salesperson knows, if someone has heard of you, the conversation goes much easier, right? The warmer the call, the better. So what digital marketing can do is kind of warm up those cold calls for the sales team, or kind of qualify some prospects, maybe even give them, the goal would be give them some inbound inquiries that they can follow up on. So digital marketing and sales team go hand in hand.
Thank you. Next question is, our company sells to other businesses, not consumers. Does this apply to me?
Yeah, so that is a very good question, a very common question we get. If you are a B2B company and not a B2C company, do you need to do digital marketing? And that's another marketing question too, where people say, well, I don't need to advertise because I am working with other businesses. But that's not true, because we can target business owners. We can target your industry. We can target their behaviors or locations. So digital marketing, and some channels may be more difficult or may not be a good fit for a B2B business, but yes, we can target your customers if you're a B2B.
Great, thank you. Another question here. Do I need to hire an agency or could we handle this internally?
Okay, so it depends on your organization, right? I think that many of us have adapted to, hopefully at least, keeping our website up to date. Whether we use, we hire that out or we do that internally, I think that's on everyone's radar. Many of us are already doing social media. Maybe we're not doing it very well or very consistently. And same thing with emails. That's when I would say it's time to hire either someone internally or hire a professional to help you. When things get a little bit more technical, I would say with search engine optimization and maybe with some of the paid ads, I do think that's a great time to consult professionals, because it can feel like it's just like a whole nother thing to learn. And I do think the technology scares a lot of people. And I'll be honest, me too. I started my career when there wasn't digital marketing. There weren't even websites. And I've had to learn about it to talk to my clients. And I understand it to the point of to be able to sell it. I understand what it does, but I don't have to be the one doing it. And that's the great thing about having professionals help you, to partner with someone. Of course, you could hire people internally to help you, but it might take more than one person to do all the different tasks needed.
You mentioned social media. Is there one social media platform that you would recommend over the other for marketing your company?
Okay, so that's a great question, and we get that a lot. So no, it really depends on your industry. If your customers, I would do your research, but if your customers are just not on Facebook, then don't be on Facebook. If your customers are on Twitter, then be on Twitter. I know a lot of B2B companies, they love LinkedIn, they do LinkedIn. If you are targeting a different demographic, a younger demographic, then you better start learning about TikTok. So it really depends on your industry. And again, there's a lot of research out there. But before you can choose your channel or your tactic, you really need to understand who your customers are. And I think that most of us do, but maybe we haven't written it down. And that's where those buyer personas can come in handy. And a great way to think about it is to think about your 3 top customers and make lists of what they have in common. That will help you with your research and to pick which tactics. So there's going to be, you're going to be able to match who you're looking for with an online channel, but you need to know who you're looking for first. You need to understand your customers.
Where can we find the channel research?
Just on the internet, for sure you can. So you could even put, so certain things that you need to know about your customers is, one good thing is their generation. Okay. How old are your customers? And if you don't know that, you have to think about who your contacts are, maybe with that company. Who's the buyer in that company, because certain generations are on different platforms. Certain generations do more research. For instance, I'll just say baby boomers, they do a lot of research before they buy. And if that's your customer, you have to have probably more on your website than if not. They'll research. Gen X, which I am, we're kind of that middle generation where we're half traditional, half digital. So we'll use digital strategies. We also do our research type of a thing. And then it goes on, then there's tons of research out there about millennials. So generational is one way that you can look things up. Also, location, geography is a huge demographic that we can target. Like you said, figure out where your customers are at. We can target by state, by zip code, by city. If your customers are going to a trade show and you know that, wow, a lot of people that you want to talk to are at this trade show, and hopefully you're at the trade show too when trade shows come back, we can actually put a digital fence around that area. So anybody walking in and out of that trade show will be served ads from your company. So things like that. To know what they're searching for. What are the words that people search for when they buy your product? And there's a lot of research on Google about that. And that might be where you want to hire a professional to help you. But those are some tidbits, I guess. Hopefully that didn't confuse people. Hopefully that helped.
So you talked a little bit about video. A lot of companies are scrambling to find affordable video solutions. Once they do find those, where's the best place to market these videos?
Well, you can market videos anywhere. YouTube, well, you should, if you've done a video, and if you've done several videos, you should have a YouTube channel. Vimeo is another YouTube type of a video channel. That would be good too, but YouTube is owned by Google, right? So it's huge for searchability. By putting videos on YouTube, it will help people find your website better. But people use YouTube like Google also. So you should have a YouTube channel for sure. And then you could also put your videos on any social media, almost any social media platform. So you can do Facebook videos. You can post those now. Facebook Live is a great way to do really inexpensive videos, right? But you can post them on your website, on YouTube, on Facebook, and then you can turn videos into paid ads also. So those display ads I talked about, those can be video ads also.
Thank you. Which digital tactic is best for my business?
I would say it depends on your business and your goals and your customers, and that's the question, right? It really depends on all those things we just talked about. Sorry, I can't really answer that without knowing more.
Have you ever used, is it Fiverr or other gig platforms for creating animation and other assets? FIVR.
No, I haven't.
Okay. Good. Well, are there any final questions here for Kelly? Shoot them in the chat if so.
Can I add, Amy, that,
Yeah.
we do offer free consultation. I mean, a lot of you know Sydney, my colleague, either she or I could answer any questions after also. Or if we do meet with clients the first time as a free consultation. So if that would be helpful to anyone, we'd be happy to help.
Wonderful. Well, thank you, Kelly. I would like to thank Kelly today for taking the time to share her expertise with us. I'd also like to thank the audience for your continued support. This webinar has come to an end. Kelly, Les, and I will stay online after the completion. For anyone that wants to chat or ask questions about the presentation or the associations. For those that are logging off, enjoy the remainder of your week. We'll see you again next month for the continuation of the marketing series. Thank you.